Welcome to the strangest war you've probably never heard of, the Great Emu War of 1932. That's right, a war against birds. In this video, we're diving into one of the most bizarre and comical moments in Australian history where humans took on nature. And spoiler alert, the birds won. Let's start with a little background. After World War I, Australia faced a big challenge: what to do with all the returning soldiers. The solution? Give them farmland. Many of these soldier settlers were given land in Western Australia to farm wheat, which sounds like a nice idea, until the real problem showed up: the emus. Yep, the emus were about to invade. Now, on top of this, farmers were already struggling. The Great Depression had tanked wheat prices, and droughts had made farming incredibly difficult. So just imagine the frustration when 20,000 emus showed up, hungry and ready to turn these farmers' fields into an all-you-can-eat buffet. The emus were trampling crops, destroying fences, and causing chaos. The farmers tried to fight back, but it wasn't enough. Desperate for help, they turned to the Australian government and said, "We need military assistance." And believe it or not, the government agreed. Enter Sir George Pearce, the Minister of Defense, who thought this would be a perfect opportunity for a little target practice. He sent in the military, armed with machine guns, to take on the emu menace. In November 1932, the war officially began. Led by Major G.P.W. Meredith, the military brought 2 soldiers, 2 Lewis machine guns, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. Their mission? To eliminate as many emus as possible. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. In the first encounter, the emus scattered like lightning. They ran so fast and unpredictably that the soldiers could barely hit them. Only a few emus were killed, while the rest fled, completely outsmarting the humans. And here's the thing: emus are incredibly resilient. Their thick feathers could absorb bullets, and their speed? Unbelievable. Some even describe them as bulletproof birds. Every time the military tried to set up an ambush, the emus would scatter in all directions, too fast for the soldiers to track. Then came the infamous truck plan. Meredith and his men thought mounting a machine gun on a truck would give them the upper hand. But this ended in complete disaster. The terrain was rough, the truck couldn't keep up with the emus, and the soldiers couldn't aim properly while driving. The emus literally ran circles around them. By mid-December, after weeks of trying and failing, the government pulled the plug on the operation. Out of 10,000 rounds of ammunition, only about 1,000 emus had been killed. The rest? They were still roaming free, continuing to wreak havoc on the farmlands. Over time, the Great Emu War has become something of a national joke, a quirky piece of Australian folklore that people still talk about today. It's a story of how nature sometimes triumphs over human technology, and how sometimes even machine guns can't solve your problems. In the end, a bounty system proved far more effective in controlling the emu population, and better fencing helped keep them out of farmland. But the legend of the Great Emu War lives on as a reminder that not every battle can be won, especially when your opponent is a giant, fast, and incredibly tough bird. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into one of history's most bizarre events, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more crazy stories from the past. And tell me in the comments, what do you think Australia should have done about the emus? Should they have sent in more troops or just given up? Let me know. Until next time, this is your name, and I'll see you in the next video.